Greetings, fellow friends of Sakura. Rhadamant here. Thank you for tuning in to RimWorld: The Boundless Witch. Episode 49. Lifting the Dark Curse to an Empty Larder. Alright, you are starting to starve. So Witch, it is time to harvest early. We got another Noctil attack. 10. So I'm going to create a temporary zone here for the combat pets. And everyone but Witch is going to go there. And then dormant mechs, I'm going to leave Vermeer alone this time and just use the combat pets. But I'm not taking Witch off of farming because people are starving. This time you can go get yourself a machine pistol. I'm a little worried about mental breaks as a result of, oh god, it's dark there. As a result of starvation, but you know, gotta take some risks. God, why do you have so much chicken meat in your pocket? Why are they... What? Oh, the door's closed. Right, that's my fault. Well, now Noctils are going to be breaking down the walls. Damn it. There goes all my farming animals. At least we're in one big horde. So, like, given that we're in one big group, it shouldn't be too hard to, to defeat these guys. There goes the fluffles. So they're chewing up. So the only issue here... Fangface, I'm going to dismiss you. Because I don't want them to free that Noctil. So I'm going to create a temporary wall here. If possible, there's not a lot of time. In order to keep that Noctil... Actually, I'll do it out of wood. One in wood is fine, and there's wood nearby. But don't have a mental break, please, please, please. Which freaking farm the thing. Okay, I think this Noctil is gonna be released. They're beating me to the punch. So containment strength is 0. I'm still gonna try to wall it up before it actually escapes because these guys are pathing away, and I can still wall it up. Oof, that is a nasty, nasty wound. Moro, you can't doctor worth a damn, but try anyway. And they got in, and you're attacking what, like, beds? But why? Alright, let's muster south, and try to avoid shooting our own power grid. And now this Noctil is contained or whatever. Oh, god damn it! 99% grown is when it... Oh, I should have noticed. But that is so stupid. Run, Cyber, run! You guys, it's not who can shoot the solar panels the most. Surprisingly, that is not the purpose of this. Alright, down goes another one. What the hell? Oh yeah, they busted through the walls. Ring around the rosy. Enjoy the giant light. Alright, so there's a down noctile there. There's an up noctile here. Let's get that last up noctile. And then my pets are going to need a lot of, like, medical care because they're getting just slashed to hell. Witch, keep moving. Rendezvous with the rest of the group. Now I have a lot of holes in the base now that will need urgent attention. Just leave that open. Cool. Okay, Morrow. Go haul corn. Try not to have a mental break on your way to go cook. And everyone else is dismissed. This is, Unnatural Darkness happened... This is day 7. Oh god. Oh. Okay, pets. You all can go back to hauling, which means most of you are going to go to get medical attention. Bangface, go haul some corn. And we'll eat it. Darkness lifting. Well, thank freaking goodness. Trying to keep our pets alive. And now we can close this door and keep our ranch closer, I think. So the lit zone is no longer necessary. We're going to just avoid corpses. And we did it. We survived the unnatural darkness. Yep. Okay, Morrow. Go cook. Falcon's Trader is gonna come in and be like, "Hey, what's up, guys? You ordered some food? Yeah, like a year ago. Alright, let's replace some of these limestone walls, as we don't really have much of a ranch without that. Time slowed down. Saburai, what's going on? One of the Noctils got back up? Okay, yes it did. Run! Cue the Benny Hill! At least it was one that was in our kill box. Could be worse. Alright. All the pets that were bleeding out are no longer bleeding out. Once these walls were repaired and replaced, I will, I'll fix the, like, wooden temporary wall that we shoved in there to prevent issues. Any zones to redraw? I don't think so. I think we're fine. We really need hill root. I was gonna say maybe I should plant something that we can eat, but we really, really need hill root. The hell was that? Dying? Yeah, I'm assuming. Whew. Well, maybe we can rope Stickiest before it wanders off. Azrune, you want to do it? Can you do it? Never do animal handling. Yeah, you will. Oh, you can't. Scorpia. Go get the Fluffy. Transport crash of an ally. Well, that's an easy, obvious thing. We're gonna save him. Fang Face. Go tend and rescue. Was I able to cap an octal? I capped 2. And we are currently researching void sculptures and ghoul enhancements. We are definitely having some food availability problems. But I'm working to remedy that, so hopefully we're not going to be starving for much longer. But a lot of the problems is, with all of these, like, animals that are downed, having to feed them is, like, a whole separate burden, which is a bit of a pain. But I did ask for a bulk goods trader who's hypothetically still coming, and I will bolster our food supply as a consequence of that trade, maybe. Alright, so all of our freezing is back. Our power, yeah, okay. Everything's back to normal. So there's some things that we could, like, turn back on. Like, I could probably turn off electro harvesting so we can research faster, because I don't really need that level of power anymore. And we're gonna need to do some more farming. Any bears on this map? Nope, it's a toxic forest. Fluffalope Shamblers. Okay. Gross. I wonder what will happen as a consequence of the bulk goods trader, but, you know, it's not my problem. Just stay away from it. And new research for Juggernaut Serum. Alright, almost all the hauling for the food that was in process is done. Oh, these animals... Yeah, we need to close that door. They are just eating the food in the ranch. Not that the rice there was, like, grown much. So, not much was lost, but still. Air Dog, thank you for the resub. Wow, we almost lost that. I didn't realize how close that was. Yes, there was not supposed to be flufflopes in that farm. No, you were correct about that. Okay, food's still tight. Moro, get back to cooking. Now this is potentially dangerous because it opens up the external of our base out to possible shamblers walking through. So let's seal that before too long. And then I'm gonna go outside and do the same thing over here. I'm hoping that these flufflope zombies just like stay pretty well clear of us. I'm giving them a lot of room to just not be near us. Alright, there we go. Containment cell is fine again. And as soon as I have a little bit more time, I can plant like a whole bunch of rice in there. That will help out with her food. We're constantly almost starving. So yeah, these guys don't seem to be pathing towards me at all. They're just passing through. We'll stay off their radar. So these Noctils, escape interval 2 years, 4 years, 16 years. All set to study. I think it should be fine. I'm going to sow this last, because I need the food more than the heal root, although I do really need heal root. Combat supplier! That's not what I asked for. Try again. I hope the trade caravan sticks around a while, because if they don't, they might exit east, and that would exit straight into a Shambler Chimera? Oof. No, thank you. Ageless Great Medical. That's like very tempting to implant into like Fang Face the moment they turn 18 or something. But I don't have the money for it. I'm just brainstorming. That's weird. Why is there a double arrow here? I have one frag grenade and it's like frag grenades. It's like false. Just got the one in that stack. Yes, that explains the Chimera pop-up of the Juggernaut Serum. Yes, it was a Shambler Chimera. So, the not extreme, brutalizing, insta-death version. Alright, and let's not cancel the party. We did survive the darkness. The build new bedrooms I'm going to get rid of. We're going to expand the farming now, again. Because I would say they require a little bit of smoothing, but basically they're built. Probably ultimately want, like, a bedroom per person, and I need more bedrooms. But, you know, whatever. It's fine for now. How old are the Noctils? You're joking, right? Okay, the Shamblers have left. So don't need to avoid them anymore. That's not a very good spot for the dead Noctils. I had no idea that we were letting them rot like that. Let's not allow that. And that means we have to go unrestricted because it would otherwise be a void zone restricted. And yes, I know there's a corpse there, but I'd rather have the twisted meat. I think that's because I didn't have corpse hauling. I deleted the zone, and that's my fault. But whatever, we fixed it in time. A gift. Sheepwool jacket. Cool. Hey, can you take this dude with you? No? Okay, fine. Wow, that is not much of an attended a party. Attended a party 1. I mean, I know you're an introvert witch, but like, can you at least pretend to have fun? Not my map tile, not my problem. Joker discovered a strip of gray flesh. I think we know whose it is at this point. Someone here may not be what they seem. And I'll analyze that with Witch. What's weird is the original gray flesh that we found really could not be Sez's, because it predated Sez. So it's kind of confusing that I'm getting warnings about, like, I don't know, just it's odd to me that there's potentially like 2 different gray flesh events going on, but you know, it's how the game goes, right? I should not have removed that grow zone. So we're prepping this to be another grow zone. It's getting pretty close to being done. Just need a few more bridges and we're good to go. You feel like it's the warden who's infected? I mean, no. It really wouldn't be. I mean, there's like a 1% chance that that's the case, but given the foot traffic and all, it really is Sez. There's almost no chance that it's anyone else. Nice, and our relationships have gone up because Thor, or whatever that guy's name was, is got out safe. Butcher creature should, yeah, it allows entities. It's just Moro's been busy. So Moro, get regular cooking again, and then we'll get entity cooking. Or entity butchering. Analysis complete. And yeah, I could do a surgical check on Sez. There's no rush. Like, I'm probably going to wait until things are a little bit more stable and normal, when things are like clean and repaired, because there's really no advantage of doing it right now, in my opinion. So, Sapple, you don't belong there. How did you even get there? Alright, pet hauling will not allow to be in there either, because I don't need the pets eating and grazing upon my farmed crop. And then I don't have a lot of... I mean, I have power, but not tons and tons of power, so this is not going to be a grow-lit zone. At least not initially. But we will want to fertilize it. And then I am going to allow everyone to sow it, because it's just sowing. So... grow time. And that's potatoes, and actually that's fine. Because the soil fertility in this room is not great yet, as it hasn't been heavily fertilized. So potatoes is like a totally reasonable crop to put in. Now the other thing that we're going to want in here is probably an irrigation sprinkler. Now my only worry with the irrigation sprinkler, however, is that I don't have a lot of water pumping. So my worry is that I will exceed the capacity of water pumping that I have available to me, and run my water supply out. So I might need to build some more electric pumps to do that. What's the story with the second map tile? So we were resource exploiting for like mining and whatnot, and we just like kind of left it there. Cause, you know, whatever. Okay, so we have a bunch of potato plants. And I think it's going to be in our best interest to work on the granite plumbing and the irrigation, and then do the rest of the fertilizer. I don't have the component for that. Okay. Oh, I ran out of coffee. Oh no! Distress signal. Yep, sorry, you're on your own. And cargo pods of weird masks. Alright, we got some widespread starvation. Again, where was my Balkans trader? Like, I swear to God, I paid for one, and I have not received one. I think it's a result of just, like, they were scheduled to... Oh, don't do that, don't do that, don't do that. They were scheduled to show up during the darkness, and then we're like, oh, well, we can't show up, so we won't. No, I'm good with water. I don't need more coffee. Could have smelt the mass for uranium? I could, but a meteorite strike landed on another outpost tile some time back, so there should be just a massive amount of uranium here anyway. Yeah. So I wouldn't... Yeah, way more effort than it's worth. We have so much uranium available to us once we get over there. If we ever get over there. It's one of these situations where it's like, I constantly find myself overly busy, so it's like, getting over there is like more of a pipe dream than anything else. There was also a compacted machinery strike over here as well, which would be phenomenal for a new mine. But again, it's like, do I risk Witch leaving? Because we know what happens when she does. Yeah. It's actually next to the uranium, too. Joker, you starving? Go eat. Do I call in another bulk goods trader? I think growing takes precedent over childcare, so I'm going to change Witch's priority for now. There was also a chip chunk, yes. You were correct about that. Tantrum! Stuff in your room, that's fine. Yeah, I'll try another bulk goods trader. You know what? I might even just dev it in. I already paid for it. So I don't feel bad about dev moding it in. And if the second one comes in, like if another bulk goods trader comes in from East Urk, I won't trade with it, because I'll just assume it was massively delayed or something. Well, Azaroon has no bed. Not very nice. These guys have no food that I can eat, other than chocolate, and they only have 10 units of that. Fantastic. Waste pack atomizing research. I'm not going to bother, but neat. Yeah, so yeah, there's really, they have nothing for me to eat here. Cool. Sell the uranium masks? They're not on this map tile. Azaroon's just like, well, I'll sleep in the memory of my old bed. It's like, alright, guy. How about I make you a new one? It's not as good as the last one, but it'll do. I don't know how else to solve our food crisis. I don't have anyone else to call. Unless I maybe give a lot of stuff to the Black Tree tribe and befriend them. Although they're tribals, I can't really call any... I mean... let's try that. Let's try to do a big gift. It'll be hard to make them allies, though. I'd have to part with a lot, but we'll see if I can move the needle. Gift. Well, there really isn't much for me to gift. I mean, I could start making clothing, but, you know, whatever. I tried. So let's cook simple meals one at a time. The other thing we could do is just violate our vegetarianism and eat meat as a stopgap. I know I need herbal meds, but like you can't. I'd rather not starve to death. So I'm also going to plant that as well. There is an ancient danger on the other map tile, but the amount of food that I suspect I'll get out of packaged survival meals there is probably not worth the risk, given the average experience is that they're full of like mechs or, you know, entities or bugs. Alright, things are kind of getting repaired. We need some components to be able to really put stuff back together. Oh, you make the cryptosuit caskets? Yeah, I mean, at that point, like, we could just do a forced march on something. I think it makes more sense to, like, eat cooked bug meat before we do that, though. So I'll do a little bit of harvest early, and then I think that's what I'll do. Is start making simple meals out of insect meat. Because it's, as long as it's like nasty meat, we might as well just go full nasty. Would a caravan gather berries help? No, we're in a toxic. We could get like tox palms, but like not enough to really feed anyone. Enough for like one person to sustain themselves while on caravan, but like not much more than that. There are no berries nearby, mind you. We're in a giant toxic forest, and we can forage for tox bombs, but like they're not a great source of food. Growth moment for Cyber Eye. You are now tough. A tough bloodlust. You had a growth tier of like 0. I don't know how you managed that, but that was amazing. Alright, the other thing I need to do is create a new food policy. I'll just call it yuck. And they're all going to be on a yuck policy. No, 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 no. Not raw food. Yuck. So they, as a result, end up with the 8 meat. So we're gonna have like massive amounts of mental break here, but like it's better than dying of starvation. So I will try to meaningfully, now that we have this up, I'll try to make sure that we end up with some actual decent farming. But like, there was no levers for me to pull up until now for me to resolve our food shortage issues. There's nothing to forage outside, and we don't eat meat, so there's no hunting. There's no caravanning anywhere because everything is way too far. So I was kind of stuck. Yes, this is not a good time. This is, everyone is gonna hate life for a long time as a result of that, the forced meals. Well, what could you do? Bunch of sick animals and darknesses and, you know, just turn the grow light on. I don't really need to. It's summer. And the natural sunlight will grow it just fine. Wouldn't provide much of a difference. In RimWorld, if you're wondering, plants hibernate at night anyway, and the grow light turns off anyway, so it's not like that would do anything. Isn't it roofed off? Oh god, it is. I thought I had removed the roof. But no, you're right. Well, thanks for pointing that out. No wonder we're having food problems. Well, Moro is making sure that we are eating horribly. And then as soon as I have the capacity to switch back to something that isn't gross, I'll do just that. There is a possibility that this room could become a supermax for entities instead of a farm, because the walls of the Petriwood are so strong. So that might be worth thinking about too. Hosting allies. Yeah, nope. Not doing that. I can't even feed me. Get feeding anyone else. Alright, that's enough cooking for now. And let's hope we go back on a veg diet. Looks like the stuff's starting to grow. So we're just fixing up any of the damaged walls, and then I'm gonna go back. I think I'm gonna decide to make this like a supermax instead. I'm gonna ultimately make that decision. So double walling it in for like extra security, and then excavating the interior for really good entity, capture. Because for the longest time we've had just like jank entity storage, and I don't want the entities stored inside our mountain, because there's a real risk of them getting out, and that wouldn't be great. Who did you... Wait, what corpse is that? Oh, that's... yeah. Alright, Cyber Eye, you're the only one with catharsis. Go bury that corpse. Cheers. Thank you for tuning in to The Boundless Witch, which originally streamed live on Twitch as a marathon. If you have any questions for me, let me know in the comments below. If you'd like to catch a live stream of mine, Rhadamant.com has my stream schedule and countdown timers to upcoming streams. If you'd like to join my online gaming community on Discord, Rhadamant.com has a link to it, as does the description of this video. Thank you so very much for watching. Special thank you to my Twitch subscribers, Patreon patrons, viewers like you that support the channel, and all the people that turned out to the marathon. I really appreciate it. I hope to catch you in the next episode or an upcoming stream. Farewell, my fellow orphans in the orphanage.